watching, you're watching, you're watching. You're watching, you're watching, you're watching. You're watching, you're watching, you're watching. You're watching.
What about the show yesterday?
It went great. It was really fun. I remember us playing here at Hellfest in 2015, and that was a great show. That was kind of like just we played whatever songs we wanted to play, but it was a great show, and I have the video and the multi-track. I think I also mixed it for the multi-track for a video for YouTube. So I just remember it for the great energy it had, and I was looking forward to doing it again, trying to make it even better, you know. So I've been waiting for it for half a year, and it was good to do it, and it went great, and I'm happy about that, you know.
What about this Black Jazz album, which is kind of special in your career?
Yeah, it's special, but yeah, so we played that Black Jazz album from 2010. We played that from start to finish yesterday, so it was a Black Jazz show. And now it's special, but it was as any other album when it came out. People didn't like it, and they wanted us to play the older songs people told me that, you know, I shouldn't sing, I should just do the saxophone. I remember people walking out when we started playing Black Jazz songs. They walked out to get beers and then came back when we played older songs. So that's how, I want to remind everybody that that's how it works. People are 5 years, 10 years late. But that's just the nature of it. So now we're playing like to celebrate that album, and it has proven itself, and it stood the test of time. And I knew that it was a special album when it came out, but it's hard to know if my goal was for it to be remembered, you know, to get into the history book somehow, and I feel that it has for some people, you know. So I feel like it's such a long time ago that when I play it, I'm as much part of the audience as the audience. I kind of see it from outside, and I can appreciate it as, you know, the thing that I can look back on it, you know. So that's fun.
This is avant-garde, you know.
What does avant-garde mean? You're French. Avant, pre, garde, in people, before everything else. Before it's early. That's what it means, right?
Yeah.
But it's 14 years old. Is it still avant-garde? Like,
it's for me avant-garde art in general, like painting.
Yeah.
It's something maybe you can't digest.
Yeah.
And will be, you know, in the future, you know, so many painters, you know, like the guy who cut his
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, you know, I think he didn't earn money when he was alive,
Yeah.
and it was avant-garde.
So what you're saying is that making avant-garde stuff means that it takes time for it to catch on. Yeah. But what I find is interesting about avant-garde, progressive music, modernism. Avant-garde means, we just discussed what it means. Modernism means modern. Progressive means moving forward, changing. And I feel like a lot of these have stopped. Like modernism isn't modern. Modernism is, I don't know, from the 60s, it's old. Progressive music now isn't progressive. Progressive music has turned into something that belongs to 10 years, 20 years ago. It's lost the meaning of being progressive. And so that's just, it's interesting how these names that means being forward thinking and taking risks turns into very non-risky stuff that looks backwards. So I always try to look forward and not stick with old stuff.
Yeah.
Although we played an old album, but you know me, I still change.
Yeah.
You know.
Which I like, you know, with the
Yeah.
shiny.
Some
camera.
people like it. Some people don't. But fuck them.
Man, when I put your we're going to talk about your 3 new covers, but your last single, you know, I put in my car.
The EP,
Just the single.
oh yeah, Us Against the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put it in my car with my twins. They love it, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Hits for kids.
It's for everyone, you know, because I love the chorus, you know.
Yeah,
I like
thank
it
you.
shining, you know. When you put your saxo out, you know, I think it was a great new area for it, but it seems you are still criticized because this and
Yeah. Yeah, we are. But you just gotta. I've seen that people criticize. Like for me, I've seen people criticize me for everything. Criticize me for making black jazz. Criticize me for making another black jazz album. Then criticize me for not making another black jazz album. And then I actually make a live album of black jazz and released 1 month ago. One of the first comments was, I wish you could go back to the old stuff. You fucking just got the old stuff, motherfucker, you know? It's like, so I feel, and usually they come around. Like when Animal came out, people were hating it. And now they come back and love it. So
I love it.
yeah, and thank you. So I feel like I just gotta remind myself. That's what it is. You can't. There are always gonna be people who complain, and usually the people who complain are loud. And if you are happy with something, a lot of people don't bother saying it. So you see all the complaining and you don't see the people who are happy. So I remind myself sometimes that, you know, I do stuff for myself and I try to not look at it. But sometimes I wish that people could, sometimes I see artists that are changing and doing new stuff and I see they have a fan base that is supportive. And I feel like, oh, I wish I had that. I wish people were being supported. If you don't like it, then shut the fuck up, you know? I don't know if it's us, or if it's the metal world, or if it's music, or if I don't know where, but I can't come up, I can't remember examples now, but I have seen people do changes and actually I haven't seen the comments on that, but you know, Beyonce making a country album, and I haven't heard it, but I just know that that was a big thing. Like there are people that are doing that stuff, and I've seen other artists do that, and if I see their fan base, they embrace it and they support it. That's how it should be. I wish people were like that. But you know, I do what I want to do. So.
And on this live album, you got a special guest.
Yes, Ishan is on the last song there. Yeah.
I mean, I know Ishan because I interviewed him several times. He's a fucking man, a special human being. What I think it could be a privilege to be on this side on stage with Emperor, right?
Yes, yeah, I love it. I try to not think about, you know,
a myth?
No, I don't give a shit about that. I've never been to the Hellfest shop in Norway. I don't want to look back at what I'm doing. I don't want to look back at what other people are doing too much. I appreciate and respect, and I think it's great to be part of what they've created. But when I'm playing, I can't think of that. We gotta be a team, you know. We gotta play a good concert, and history or hierarchy or myth or whatever doesn't have anything. It just makes it's in the way of playing well. And I don't like myths. I don't like hierarchies. I don't like religion. I don't like to worship anything, and I don't think people should worship anyone. They should don't worship me. I don't think they should worship Isham. I don't like worship, so I try to not do it myself, you know.
So 3 new singles, 3 covers.
Yeah. That was I had them lying around, and I thought, maybe you should put them out, and I could always take them back if I regret it. That's the digital way. And I went and started listening to them, and I recorded some new drums for the Avicii. Like we did an Avicii, a cover by the Avicii song "Without You," and a cover by Adele, "Someone Like You," and a cover by the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York. These are actually songs that I made for our Patreon club. I do one each year for Christmas. And so I have like, I don't know, 7, 8 of them lying around. And I thought these were kind of cool. They all were about like losing people, maybe failed love or stuff like that. And so I recorded drums for the "Without You" song, and I mixed it again. This Adele song, I just had a mix. I didn't want to open up the project because there was so much old plugins and stuff, so I just remastered it. And the Pogues song is pretty much finished. So I put them out and got a friend of me to make an artwork for it. And now it's there, and it's one of the cool things about digital releases, that you can do whatever you want. If I want to release something tomorrow, I just press a button and it's there, you know. So that's the story about that.
Once again, you like flashy colors.
Yes, like
to use the pink.
Yes. Yeah, we had
orange too.
Yes, we had. When I started getting really involved in making the covers, which was with Black Jazz, that had this kind of color palette. It was black and gray, industrial, some white, and then we had a live album coming out in 2011. So that's 1 year after, and I thought maybe just flip it, make it white. It was very early, like 1 year after, and I just like turned it on its head, but that's how I usually do it. And then we came out with 111 in 2013, and that's like fluorescent orange with just the logo. So, and then the next album is black with yellow on it, kind of like an angry wasp, you know. And I like the yellow, so on Animal it's all yellow, but I introduced pink, and I got a pink jacket, and you know, I was just so tired of doing the same, so I wanted to like, you know, rock the boat, you know. And now, yeah, I still like the yellow, and so I'm kind of with a Live at the Heavy Water plant. That's more like a remake of Black Jazz, but on most other stuff, like I'm guessing I'll keep the yellow for some time, you know. And it's like, I don't know if you know, you probably know, but maybe not all people know that on screen you got RGB, red, green, blue. And these are 3 sliders. And I like colors where they're either full on or not on at all. So the yellow I'm using is full on FF00. So full on red, full on blue, and 0 green. And the red I'm using is like red on all, on full, and the other sliders on 0. So that's what
You put
yeah.
extreme on.
Yes, that's the colors I like. Sometimes I have to do something in between, like the cyan, the turquoise color that I have on the animal. There's a little bit of blue, so that's like somewhere in between. But usually I like the full-on idiot colors, you know.
Idiot.
Yeah.
So what about you? Would you? So you play with Samuel for shows in Poland?
Yes.
It was great. A lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, they got the people. Yeah.
And next, what's next for you?
I really wanna finalize some new music. I have loads of songs on my computer that are either 90% finished or 10% finished. So I wanna get ready 4 or 5 new songs. And then we have since Animal, and the pandemic came, and I didn't feel like making a full album. You never know when you can release it at that time, and you didn't know if there was any money anywhere because everything was uncertain. So I didn't want to tie up a lot of money, time in making a full album, and then end up not being able to tour with it. So I started making singles because that was easier. And I could do creatively, it's much more fun because you make a single and then you get it out, and then you get a feel of how it works and how you like it, and then maybe you do another one with the stuff you like the most. And then if you do something that you maybe don't like that much, you just you make something else. So you could creatively kind of steer the ship and change direction if you want to. While if you do an album, and it takes 2 years, 3 years, by the time you've finished the album, the first couple of songs you made, you've already kind of moved on and you want to do something else, which is kind of how I sometimes feel. So we had probably 7, 8 singles out, I guess, since then. So I'm gonna make maybe 4 or 5 more and then choose the best 8, 9, 10 and make an album of that. That's the plan. So new album and then tour. Maybe play. What I feel is like it's cool to play the black jazz show and get the lights and get promote it as a black jazz show. But when we play, I also don't want to. When we play live, we can play a lot of the cool black jazz songs and a lot of the new songs, and they gel well together because you got the same guitar sound and same lights, and you get more energy.
And you have a fantastic lineup, you know.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so
Your drummer is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, so I think I'm looking forward to going out and just play the best songs we have instead of having to and not think about what it is. Just a cool, shining show.
So with or without
saxophone? Yeah, saxophone is part of it. On the songs, we did Animal without it, and I just wanted to try it. But now I do that, and I play more saxophone in other things now than I did. I had a period where I didn't want to do it because I wanted to learn new things. I didn't want to rely on. I was kind of like I had established myself as one of the very few metal saxophone player, maybe the only one that I know, and that was my career. And I thought, like, okay, maybe instead of resting on my laurels, I wanted to challenge myself. So I did that, and that's how I learned. But now I've done it, and I'm happy playing saxophone again.
I grew up with saxophone because of Madness. do a cover, no?
Yeah, that's an idea. I'll keep it. I'll write it down actually.
Or you should play the Marseillaise or whatever.
I played the Marseillaise
You know, I was there.
You were there. Yeah, it's
I got
crazy.
goosebumps, you know.
Yeah.
I was always
Yeah.
looking on my back, you know. Yeah, and you told me last time in Poland that you were about the glass, about the windows.
Yeah,
how to
we were
escape,
on the.
you know?
We were for the audience. This was a show 4 days after the attack at La Bataclan, or 5 days, and the city had just allowed concerts that very day, and we decided to do the concert. But obviously, everyone was afraid of copycat attacks. So it was the only time where we, as a band, had been on backstage. This was at La Diva du Monde, and we went on top of the roof to plan like a possible escape route if something happened. Never done that before. I wish I never have to do that again. But that was reality at that time. And the night before, I was lying in my bunk and thinking, okay, maybe I should. It's a special day. Maybe I should do something special. I learned the La Marseillaise melody, lying in my bed.
The afternoon.
Yeah, the night before. And I told the band that I'm going to do that, and I end on the tonic, and I end on the root note of the next song we're playing, which usually is which was I Won't Forget at that time, and they didn't know more than that, and I said that's the plan. So let's see. And I went out and I played La Marseillaise, and people were singing along, shouting, screaming, and the lyrics of the song is like you should. Paint the grass
This is a
red.
war anthem.
Paint the grass red with the blood of the enemy. It's a war anthem, and everybody. And it felt like a war, like a resistance war, because we were kind of like fighting against fucking terrorists. So it was amazing start, an amazing show, and there's still footage of that on YouTube. Fucking.
I film it. Okay.
You filmed it? Do you still have it? You should send me some.
I think I posted it on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, send me that.
Yeah?
It's one of the. There's a couple of things I remember from my life, from my playing shows, and that's one of the top ones.
Thank you, Jorgen.
Yeah.